Hello and welcome to the class. Today we're going to do some lovely relaxing, well sometimes relaxing, forward folding. So if you'd like to start off lying down in your normal position and closing your eyes and getting ready for your yoga. So we need to be in the right frame of mind, taking our senses inwards, feeling comfortable and just focusing on the breath. Just settling down now, being aware of the breath at the tip of your nose, how it feels cool and dry on the inhalation and warm and moist on the exhalation. Next exhalation, make it a bit deeper and think about where the breath has gone in the body to make it warm when you exhale. Just a little bit deeper. And the exhalation starts to be a bit longer, doesn't it? Just a little bit more awareness of how the rib cage is moving. What's happening with your tummy? And then of course the exhalation is the breath of letting go. So if you can say to yourself as you inhale, let, and as you exhale, go. Inhaling, let, and exhaling, go. You can make the go a bit longer. And make sure it's an easy rhythm, you're not forcing anything. Another 6 breaths like that. Going back to normal breathing and coming back to sitting with your legs crossed, sitting on a block. And lifting the spine. Have another block ready so that we can start to go forward. Your hands on top of the block. So lifting the spine, breathing in as you breathe out, walking forward, forward, forward. Again, trying to move from the hip crease here, lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And then you can start to feel what's happening to your lower back here, can't you? And then walking back. We'll do that once more. If you can think you can get a bit lower without rounding the upper back too much, then do it that way. So just see how that goes. Breathing in, breathing out, letting go, but keeping your base very strong. And then eventually maybe going down a bit more, but see how it goes. And then walking back, 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 stretching the block up, lengthening the spine. A little bit more, lengthening and careful of the shoulders. Think about what they're doing. Perhaps a bit back. That's a nice stretch. And so we do a couple of sun salutes, but if you're not doing that, the cat, and if you're doing the cat, when you do the rounding movement here, see if you can look through your knees at the wall behind you, and then see if you can look up to the wall behind you to see a bit more wall from there, and that's in the rounding of it. And then of course there's the opposite movement where you drop the waist down and look up a little bit that way. Okay, so well, let's all do a couple of those, and then just one sun salute each way. So breathing in and dropping the waist, lifting the bottom up and looking up. And then as you breathe out, rounding, so the knees are apart. So I'm trying to look at that wall behind me. So I've got to sort of round a bit more, see a little bit more wall. Then the elbows start to go, but don't worry about that too much. In fact, let me go a bit. And breathe in, breathe out, and look up. And then on the next out breath, round, look underneath. Breathe in, bottom up, waist down, looking up. And breathing out, rounding, tucking the tail under, looking, can you go, bring the head down a little bit more and see the wall a little bit more behind you, elbows bent now. And once more, breathe in, look up, get the shoulders back, you can smile. And breathing out, rounding, tail in, chin down. Bend in, elbows a little bit, look at the wall behind you, a bit more higher up the wall behind you, and come up, just onto all fours. We'll do, you can do a couple more of those if you don't want to do sun salute, or we'll do sun salute, and I think I've got to take something off because it's getting a little bit hot, so go into your good mountain pose now. Make it a little bit slower, one. So, hands in Namaste. Breathe in, stretch up and back. A little bit more. Breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the right foot back, knee down, look up. And just retain the breath. Good plank, nice and straight, heels back, tummy working. And on an out breath, knees, chest, forehead down. Smoothly into cobra, elbows in. And then down into dog. Bottom up, heels down. Now energy, big step forward with the right, through the hands. Breathing out, left feet together. Breathe in, stretch up and back. And hands into Namaste. breathe in, stretch up and back, a little bit more, breathing out, fingers in line with toes, head down. Breathe in, bring the left foot back, knee down, look up. Retain the breath into plank. Breathing out, knees, chest, forehead down. Elbows in, into good. Cobra, down into dog. Bottom up, heels down. Big step forward, left. Get it through. Feet together now. And breathe in, stretch up and back. And hands into Namaste. And a good Tadasana. Now, arms down. Our feet, four corners of the feet down. We're going to have our feet apart, hip width. Good standing posture. Our ears over shoulders, over hips, knees, ankles. And just be comfortable there. So, how does the... pay attention to your feet and the toes spreading. A really good contact with the floor. And we're going to roll down this time. Okay, so firstly the chin goes down, and then we're going to roll down. Okay. Breathing in, breathing out, rolling down, rolling down. Just let the shoulders relax, let them go. Let the knees bend a bit. Let the knees bend a bit. Release down. So now the knees are bent. You might better put your hands on the mat. Shoulders are relaxed. Then you might better straighten a little bit from there, come a little bit forward from there. Might want to change the hand position. And just holding it there, letting go. So this is a lot about letting go. And then we're going to be rolling up again the way we went down. So the chin is in, the knees are bent. Then just to start rolling gradually. Then the legs start to straighten. The shoulders back. And I think it's nice to have a little stretch up after that. We're going to do that once more. So, the chin first, with the breath rolling down, start to bend the knees, rolling, relaxed arms and shoulders, hands down, knees still bent. Come forward a little bit and start straightening the knees. See how you go, bottom up. The rest of the body relax down, just the feet and legs working. Are you still in contact with the four corners of the feet here? Okay, then we're going to go up again, slowly rolling up. And the knees start to straighten eventually when you're nearly up. And from there, have another stretch up. Lengthen. Shoulders still released though. And we're going to do a little squat. So, just bring out a little bit forward. You might want to make the feet a bit wider. Just see how you go. Okay, breathing in, breathing out, then normal breathing, little squat. I'll even let you lift your heels if you need to. And then we're going to just go down and rest the upper arms on the knees here, and release the arms, and it brings you a little bit forward, doesn't it? And then just letting go from there, and then looking just across the floor a little bit. So it's quite good work on the ankles here, isn't it? So if you need to go wider, if you want to put a block behind your heels, maybe you could do that, or even you could be up. You could be up on your with your heels off, because you're still getting this forward movement here, aren't you? If you do that, so it's not a bad idea really. And then coming up from there, just breathing in, lifting up, breathing out. Just have a little wiggle, and then we're going to, if you could grab a chair and be by it on the wall if you can. If you're not, you can do this freestanding, but we're going to do a wide leg forward bend here. Okay, the chair in the middle. And then we've got the chair to stretch to, haven't we? So we can do it quite gradually. Okay, so feet facing forwards. Good standing posture. So again, we're bending from here, aren't we? So what I want you to do is, so actually before you bend too much, is get hold of the bottom flesh, move it up and separate it so your sitting bones are against the wall. Then the tummy works, doesn't it? And then we start to stretch. You can use 2 blocks, but like walking down the chair is quite good. If you've got a chair handy, or do it that way. So stretching the arms forward. And that's quite a nice stretch, isn't it? If you remember the days when we used to do it in pairs, we could have someone holding us here and get that nice stretch, but we can use a chair, that's fine. And breathe. Then we can start walking down the chair, aren't we? So, the seat here, that's quite nice. That's quite a nice stretch here. And just think about what your neck and your head are doing. Try not to drop down or lift up too much. Knees in line with your arms. And you might be able to go a little bit more, that's up to you. And you might be able to go all the way down. And then start to bring the arms in. Now you might want to move the heels slightly away, just slightly. Otherwise you might have a job to get up again. Okay, so you can first of all hold the ankles, but be careful, don't fall forward on the chair. So you need that bottom up. That's quite a bit of work. You can bend the elbows, just drop the head a little bit. And then you can come a little bit forward. Chair again maybe. So just holding the chair there, looking up, extend the arms. So some good work on the tummy here. So we're going to go down once more, but then think of bringing the, on the out, we have the tummy in and the rib cage, a little bit more space in the rib cage. So on the next out breath, think about the rib cage and lifting up and over. And then you can go gradually down the chair or onto the 4 blocks. Just a nice gentle one. We'll give it a little bit again maybe. See how it goes. Forward again. And come up. And bring the feet in. And have a stretch up. So you can be by the wall, right hand, feet hip width, stretching up, backs of the hands towards the wall and lengthening. And have a little side stretch and hold of the left wrist and stretching over. Keep the arms back. Breathe in, breathing out, and hold the right wrist and over to the left. Then bringing the feet about 15 inches away from the wall. Lifting the bottom flesh up and out again.
20 minutes.
And then we can get this more of the lift of the rib cage here. So you can bend your knees a little bit here. Breathe in, breathing out. Now lift the ribs up and over. Then go down from there. And then you might want to straighten the legs from there. Okay, let the arms go and everything, let the head go. Or you can keep the legs slightly bent because it'll still be a hamstring stretch. And just this folding over. And to come up, you can bend the knees a little, that's fine. Walk the hands up. Move the feet back. Have one more stretch up. Coming back to Tadasana. And namaste. Now we're going to do an angled forward bend, but with Garuda eagle arms. Okay, so come towards the back of the mat and bring the right foot forward, left toes out a little bit. Then we're going to do a soft eagle arms. So we're going to do left over right. So just nice and softly. And centre there, and drop the head. Okay. Breathe in, breathing out. Move the hips back and come forward over the leg. Over the leg. So keep the toes spread. You're stable. And just see how you go. Drop the head a little bit. And then breathe in. Lengthen a little bit and come up. And we're going to change. So we're going to bring the left foot forward and the hips a little bit. Make sure the toes are spread. And then we're going to do the right arm on top. So right over left. Nice easy one. You can get back and hands together or whatever. Okay, so square the feet so you're on the four corners of the feet. Drop the head. Breathe in, breathing out. Let's give it here. Move the hips back and come forward and down. Just a bit of work on the legs maybe. Down and then extend, come up, breathe in and release. Just a little wiggle out. Just bring your arms behind you now and make a little space between the palms. Stretch back and down. That opens the chest a little bit. That. We're going to be lying on our mat. First of all, we're going to be in Dandasana. And have your feet at the top, the front end of the mat, because we're going to be rolling back. Now this is going to be a bit of a kind of banana shoulder stand and then come forward into a forward bend. And we're not going to use our arms so much either doing this. So we put the feet on the mat, then walk in again. You can press a little bit with your hands, but then we're going to move the arms back. Now, if it's any discomfort on your neck, then you need to come down. So at the moment it's just the feet over. Should be comfortable on your neck, you're coming up towards your shoulders, but you're in a sort of half plough really, aren't you? You can bend the knees a little bit if you want. Now, if you want to start to straighten a bit, you might be more on your shoulders now. And in that sort of banana shoulder stand, but we're not trying to straighten the legs that much either. And you're getting at that position, it's quite nice. You've got an inversion. It's a shoulder stand, but in quite a relaxed way, isn't it? See how you go with that. Any problems, just go into your normal forward bend sitting, okay? But this is quite nice actually. I find you can get quite high on the shoulders really. Sometimes you can lift the legs a little bit if you want to. It should be easy on the neck. Right, then you start to bend the knees in. Start to come forward, stretch the legs, breathe in, breathe out. Into your forward bend. I'm going to do another one now if you want to have a quick look if you didn't know what I was doing. I'll just have another go anyway. So, starting in Dandasana, coming back, using your hands at the moment, bending the knees in. Then feel that you can get into a position where you can relax the arms back, keep the head just centered. You might better go down towards the floor a little bit into a sort of plough. You can bend the knees a little, or you don't have to aim for the floor at all. Then you can start to bring your legs up and maybe straighten a little bit. But it is a balance on your shoulders, but quite relaxed. And breathe. If you have trouble breathing, you need to come down. If you want to lift your legs a little bit more, you can. It's that balance, isn't it? The shoulders a bit more even. Okay, to come out, bend your knees into your chairs. Start to bring the arms forward. Keep the chin down, breathe in, and breathing out. Forward bend. Nice and soft. And release. And come up. And move the flesh back. So we do Janusasana. Hip to knee, so you need to bring this hip back, this left one. Bring the right hip towards you, breathe in and lift, and breathing out. Suck the tummy back and stretch over the leg a little bit. Just let the head go, not tucking the chin or lifting the chin. If you can reach your foot, that's fine. You bring the left hand first and then the right one, then let the head go. And breathe in and come up and change. So, Dandasana, bring the left heel in towards the left thigh. Bring this right hip back a little bit. Breathe in and stretch up, lengthen. So the more you lengthen, the more you'll have to go over. Watch if you like this, it's not going to happen. So good length. Breathing in, breathing out, suck the tummy back, going over. Let the top body just come down. If you can reach the foot, then bring the right hand and the left hand. Breathing in, breathing out. You might better extend a little bit more over the leg. It's up to you how far you go. And letting go. And breathe in and come up. Let's go into happy baby. Lying down, hands on the side of your feet, knees towards your armpits. Make sure your head is centered, you're not lifting your chin or anything. And this very elegant posture here. Just have a little rock, a very small rock side to side. Not any rock that's going to bring you over. Let the head go with it. It's quite a nice little back massage. A little bit of an inversion still, isn't it? That's quite nice. And release, then place one foot down, other foot down, arms out a little bit, and just a fairly relaxed twist. Let the knees go over, keep feet on the floor, but the soles of the feet will come up. Now if you can keep chin down, you can let your head go slightly over to the left if it's comfortable. Letting go from there.
10 minutes gone.
Breathe in, come up. Centre the head, breathe out, go over the other side. Keep the upper body down, don't lift the shoulder or anything. If it's comfortable, keeping the chin down, just tiny bit over towards the right. Keep the neck long. Breathe in and come up. Stretch out. Arms. That's rather nice. After those forward bends, place one foot on the mat, the other foot on the mat, and get ready for Shavasana now. So make sure you're warm enough, comfortable enough. Cover your eyes, that's quite nice. And again, it's all about letting go, isn't it? So, as your head centered, walk the shoulders down, away from your ears. Your arms away from your body. Is your back comfortable? Have a wiggle now so you can be still. Shortly. Let the legs just let go, roll out. And be conscious of how the body feels now. And letting go. So focusing on your feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs. Soften your pelvis, hips, tummy, ribs, chest. Your back, let it feel fluid. Letting go any tension. Feel that it's spreading nicely and letting go. Release your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, hands, fingers, right to the tips of your fingers, palms soft. Imagine those empty gloves lying on the table. teeth will come apart. Let the tongue just drop down, it will just hover towards your palate a little bit. And the root of your tongue and your throat release. All the small bones and muscles of your face. There's no need for any expression. Let it go. Be aware of how you were expressing, and now you can let it go. You can let go. Release the corners of your eyes, the bridge of your nose. Just let your eyes become soft, sink down into your sockets, looking gently into your heart center. Release around your eyebrows, your forehead, your hairline, your ears. Release your brain, the back of your head, and just be focused on the peace and silence in your heart. Becoming aware of your body, move your hands and your feet a little. Start to walk your feet in towards you, and then curl round onto the right side into a fetus position. You might want to support your head with your hand on the cushion if you like. And then push on your hands and start to come up. Come up to sitting again, crossing the legs the opposite way. If you had your legs crossed at the start. Lifting your spine. Hands in namaste under the breastbone and lift your breastbone with your hands a little bit. Bring your elbows back, chin down. Lengthen up, spread the fingers, close your eyes for a moment, take a good breath, open your eyes, and namaste, but stay there a moment, I have a little story. So it's in this book, A Deep Breath of Life by Alan Cohen, and it's called Don't Shoot the Screen. When motion pictures became popular, a group of cowboys went into a Montana town to watch their first movie. Upon viewing a scene in which a band of Indians was kidnapping a young pioneer woman, a cowboy in the back of the theatre stood up and furiously fired bullets at the screen. The film stopped, the lights came on, and the audience laughed to behold a blank screen with 6 bullet holes in it. Not very fun, don't you? We are equally fooled if we attack the movie of our life playing on the screen of our mind. If you fight, hurt or retaliate against those who do not support or agree with you, you are wasting bullets. Your efforts to prove yourself to others are as useless as shooting the screen. We hire everyone we meet to represent something we believe about ourselves or our world. We can thank those who challenge us, for they help to discover the self-diminutive beliefs lodged below the surface of our conscious awareness. The way to transfer our world is not to struggle to manipulate people or events, but to upgrade our thoughts and our consciousness so we attract people and events that demonstrate love rather than fear. If you know your worth, you do not need anyone else to confirm it. And if you do not recognize your value, you will not gain it by getting others to approve. If you don't like the movie you are watching, don't bother shooting the screen. Instead, change the movie, or better yet, turn on the light. So, your thought for this week is, my world reflects the true beauty within me.